Hello everyone, welcome to Renaissance Minis. Our project is coming along quite nicely. We have quite a few things done already. It's going to start moving a little bit faster now. So today I'd like to tackle the outside of this house. So let's get some foam board from Dollar Tree, start cutting it and applying and putting in the brick texture that we're going to be doing for the outside. I'm going to be applying the brick texture to this. So we're using Dollar Tree foam board, which is important because you can remove the paper. You can take the paper off of there. Both sides. I'm going to make an X mark here, or a dot or something, to indicate that this is the side I'm putting the texture on. You don't have to put the texture on both sides, just the external side. So you want to mark all of your pieces, which side you're applying the brick texture to. I'm using my X-Acto knife and a ruler to make the brick texture. I actually am not going to use the metal ruler. I'm going to use the Mr. Pen ruler. And the reason why I like to use this ruler is because you can see through it. So we're making our bricks this width right here, and I'll be able to see through this ruler to see where there's another line here. See that line right there? It's going to help you keep things lined up. And we're going halfway down into the foam board. And I'm going to work my way up this foam board from the bottom. I always like to work it from the bottom. Again, making sure this is the one that I marked that's an exterior. Don't push too hard with your blade because you only want it to penetrate halfway through. And I can see right through this ruler, so I know exactly where I am. And that will give you really good, clean, accurate lines. Once we have all of the horizontal lines cut in here, you're going to want to kind of separate it a little bit by bending it. I found this was the best way to do the brickwork. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to add some texture to it. And how I do that is I push with my fingers and I press this down, and that's going to give it some texture. It's going to make it look like real stone. See how those look better than these down here? We're just going to put pressure with our fingers all over this piece. Putting dents in it, so to speak. Then I'm going in with my tinfoil ball. If these come apart and separate, don't worry about that. You're going to be gluing them on, so I'm not going to worry about that. The edges don't have to be perfect because we're going to trim out all of these the windows and the doors anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You can also put the foam board on and then score it, and then cut out the windows and then score it, or cut it and distress it while it's on the building, but it just seemed easier for me to go ahead and quickly do all of them while it was off. And if your foam board doesn't completely fit right, you can splice in pieces. I had to add one in here, and then you just go back and add the brick detail. And down here you can see there's a space here. We're going to see if we can push this up a little bit closer here, or I could rip it off and start over, or I could fill it in with something. But I'm not too concerned with it at this point. It looks pretty good. So let's move on to the next step. I'm going to go for a second coat on the main part. The next thing I'm going to do is come in with the burnt umber, much like I did in the castle room box, and I'm gonna splash some of it in there, and I'm gonna pick some up with my brush, and I'm gonna come through here and kind of give it a little bit of variation in color, randomly just painting this on. I especially want to darken underneath the windows and the door, because we're going to make this country cottage look older and kind of weathered. So just randomly placing the paint on, darker in some spots and not in others. I would keep your brush going in the same direction though if you do this. And go over it a few times. See how that's going to give it an old look, like it's been weathered a little bit. That's what we want. Feel free to play around with different colors. You can try to add a gray to this or some other type of combination to make it look aged and weathered. Oops, we lost our tip. All right, here's what we have so far. It looks pretty good. Looks nice and aged and weathered, which is how I want it to look. So I'm really happy with how it turned out.